Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So today, certain beneficiaries of Social Security are going to be receiving their checks of up to $4,800. We're going to be going over who's going to be receiving those payments. Plus, as one Social Security program marks its 50th anniversary this year, we're going to be going over a couple of different changes that they're considering making within this year or maybe next year. We'll be going over that as well. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. And if you'd really just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stock is just sell it for what it's worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into our first story of today's video, and that is that one program within Social Security is turning 50 years old this year. We're going to be going over a couple of different changes they're considering making. We have a couple of different bills out there that would make some pretty drastic changes to the program, and that program, of course, is SSI. So according to CNBC, as one Social Security program marks a 50-year anniversary, here's how benefits may change. So they say that the Social Security Administration is taking steps to try to reduce some of the restrictions that come with SSI benefits. So first off, the agency has announced that it will no longer count food as unearned income, formerly known as in-kind support and maintenance, or ISM, which penalizes beneficiaries when their family provides dinner for them, for example. It is also expanding the rental subsidy policy for SSI applicants and beneficiaries, as well as the definition of a public assistance household. Those changes, which are slated to go into effect starting on September 30th, should allow more people to access and qualify for SSI, O'Malley said. Moreover, the agency has also made it easier for beneficiaries to request waivers for overpayments or excess benefits they may have received. It also increased the SSI underpayment threshold to $15,000 from $5,000, which has helped resolve backlog cases. Democrats have proposed the Supplemental Security Income Restoration Act in one of the bills, which calls for increasing the program's asset limits, setting the minimum benefit at 100% of the federal poverty level, streamlining the claiming process, and getting rid of certain reductions in benefits. And then we have yet another proposal. This one actually happens to be bipartisan, so we both have Democrats and Republicans on board with this bill. It's called the SSI Savings Penalty Elimination Act, and this would increase the asset limit to $10,000 per individual and $20,000 per couple, up from $2,000 and $3,000 respectively. Consequently, it would also eliminate the marriage penalty that current beneficiaries face. So again, we have two bills there. Both the bills would make some pretty drastic but good changes for those currently receiving SSI benefits. Whether or not they actually pass before the end of this year, well, they have about 6 months left to do so, so we'll just have to wait and see. Now, in some other news, of course, today we have payments going out to certain beneficiaries of Social Security. These payments are going to be worth all the way up to $4,873. Once again, these are going out today, according to Todo Disca. So those who are receiving the payments today on June 12th are those who have had Social Security or started receiving Social Security benefits after May of 1997, and also those who have a birthday between the 1st and 10th of any given month. So we can look at the payment schedule up there on the screen, and we can see once again on the bottom right hand corner today, June 12th, those payments are going to be going out $4,873 at the max. Now, the average is actually only right around $1,900 this year. Of course, some people are receiving less, some people are receiving more. It has to do with pretty much how much income you made during your career. When you retire, did you start taking Social Security benefits early at 62? Did you claim at your full retirement age, whether that's 66 or 66 in a few months? or did you wait all the way until your max claiming age at 70 where you're able to receive your max retirement benefit? Now, moving into the next story of today's video, of course, today there's going to be some new inflation data that is going to be released. This is going to be incredibly crucial for a few different reasons. One of the reasons is that the Federal Reserve is also going to be having a meeting today where they're going to be possibly discussing some possible rate cuts in the near future, which could be very, very good for the USA economy. So as I mentioned here, one of the things, the measure of how much a broad basket of goods and services cost consumers in May is expected to show a little month-over-month movement, just a 0.1% increase from April, though that would still equate to an aggregate annual rise of 3.4%. Now, excluding food and energy prices, the so-called core PCI is projected to show a 0.3% monthly gain and a 3.5% annual rate. So that's going to be something that we have to keep an eye out on. If inflation doesn't rise that much, if it only rises by 0.1% or doesn't rise at all, then at that point we could have the Federal Reserve signaling some rate cuts by the end of this year. Earlier on this year, they were expecting to cut rates, I believe, like 3 or 4 times, which of course would lower interest rates on different debts like credit card, anything that had a variable rate. They would be able to lower the rates, and of course, those looking for a home, it would also lower the rates of that as well. But since inflation really hasn't cooled all that much, they've held off on cutting the rates because they don't want to cut the rates and then all of a sudden the inflation starts going back up to 4 or 5 or even 6+%. And then also another thing about the inflation data that's released today is we're going to have a much better idea what the cost of living adjustment is going to look like for Social Security beneficiaries going into 2025. So we've had different estimates out there. The most recent estimate that we received last month in May came in at right around 2.66%. That was from the Senior Citizens League. So today we're going to have yet another cost of living adjustment. It's probably going to be right around anywhere between 2.5 to 2.7%. Now, the most important months are going to be August, September, and October. Those are going to be the months that are going to show us the inflation data from July, August, and September. That's going to be the third quarter inflation data. And we're going to compare all that data from July, August, and September to the same data of last year back in 2023, those exact same 3 months. And whatever it increased by within that time period is what the cost of living adjustment is going to be. So if it increases by 2%, then next year in 2025, you're going to be receiving a 2% increase in your cost of living adjustment. If it's 1%, then it's going to be a 1% increase in your cost of living adjustment. If it's -%, you're not actually going to receive a decrease. They're just not going to adjust benefits at all. Anytime that there is deflation or no inflation taking place at all, where there's like a negative number, they're not going to decrease your benefits. Your benefits are going to stay exactly the same. Now, your benefits could actually decrease in the way that your Medicare Part B premiums could actually see a slight increase. And if your benefits stay the same, but your Medicare Part B premium increases, then of course you'd receive a reduction in your benefits, but you're never actually going to receive, like a negative cost of living adjustment in that way. But that is something that we're definitely going to have to keep our eyes out on today on that inflation data. Hopefully it hasn't gone up all that much, but we'll definitely have to keep an eye out on that. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like, consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.